Larissa and Cassidy in the Valley.
Breathe, Cassidy.
Love
Wow.
it. All right, talking about Google Forms today?
Yes, absolutely. Welcome to LNC in the Valley, Epic Live, not so live. Not so live, but that's okay.
Sorry, vocal cord rest after that note
Yes.
I just held. I just gotta wait. So, well, let's get started. We got a lot to get through today.
sure
so,
do.
you want to kick us, or I'll kick us off with why are we actually talking about Google Forms today? Well, the idea here is empowered learning. So our learning target here is we want you to be able to create a Google form with the ability to provide feedback to your students automatically. So it's something you don't have to do because the form is going to do it for you. And that's in order to help build their confidence and to help them be more productive, which are two of our pillars of what it means to be an empowered learner.
We love it. We
So,
love empowered learners.
Get us started off here?
Absolutely.
All right.
So, where to even find forms? Well, there are a few different places you can find them, but my favorite is in my drive, specifically in the folder in my drive where the work that this is related to all sits and lives. So, I'm in that folder. I head to the plus sign and I'm going to see this drop down menu and look at the bottom, Google Forms. So, you can click it right there. So, it just from the get go is in the folder it needs to be. So when you open that form, this is what you'll see on your screen. It says untitled. We'll just drop a title in real quick. And once we got that title in, it's going to look a little more like this. And we're going to want to head to settings at the top. Sorry, you can't see it because it's under the word form to quiz. But in settings, once you tap on that setting, you're going to click on make this a quiz. And so that way we can use it with our students and we can have some answers that are in there already. So here is a question that we've got.
Welcome to everyone's favorite game show titled Question or High Five. Cast those votes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You're going to head to.
So if I don't hit that, I can't see the answer key button?
Exactly,
Okay, so now I can't.
exactly.
Got it.
So now when we add our questions, we're going to choose from our box what kind of question we want. Right now I've got multiple choice and I typed in my question. I typed in all the choices, but now you're probably all wondering which one is the correct choice. Well, that's where we go to that answer key button that you see towards that bottom. When you do that, you'll be able to then click on which choice is the correct choice so that when your students take the quiz, they'll be able to get the correct choices marked or the incorrect choices marked as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now, one thing we want to talk about is how do you control their responses? Because maybe you want them to only put in the right answer. You might want them to not be able to submit until they're at 100%. You want it to automatically check, and you wanted to create that automatic feedback, or to build confidence and productivity. That's what we're going to do here, and it's called response validation. Nice. So when I would use that is, maybe I wanted to make a breakout room, maybe I want to use a formative assessment that I want to know what the students are doing. The great thing about it is if they can't turn it in until it's 100% correct, do you have to look at it?
That's a really good question.
Is it?
I don't know.
Do you have to look at it if you know every one of them is going to be 100% correct?
Start over.
No. So you don't have to look at it because they're all 100% correct. So that's something that people don't think about. Like, man, I still got to look at all these. You don't have to because they're all 100%. So now how I do that is in this question, I go down to the 3 dots at the bottom and I'm going to click on response validation. When I do that, it's going to give me some options of what I can do. So the options are I can make sure it's a number, a text, the length of it is a certain length, or if it's a regular expression, which we'll go into deeper in a little bit.
Okay.
So from there, if I picked number, I have these options. I can have that it's greater than, equal to, or those options on the side. If I pick text, I can make sure it's an email, a URL that contains certain things. And after that, I actually want to put in an answer and then a hint. So if I don't put an answer in, or if I don't put a hint in, this is what happens. If I put the hint in, it says think about addition. If I don't put a hint in, it just tells them the number must be equal to 4. So it gives them the answer. So back here, where it says custom error text, I want to actually put something in. Otherwise, it just tells them the answer, which might not be what you want.
Which you want. Because you want them, even if they get it wrong, you still want them to keep thinking.
So we're not going to watch this video, but if you want to know a little bit more or just slow that down a little bit, here's another video about that, and it's in the slideshow. So the next thing we want to look at is how to provide feedback based on if they got the answer right, if they got the answer wrong. So the first thing we're going to look at is how do they go to a different section based on their answer. So if you choose a multiple choice question, you can actually click on the question, and then on the 3 dots you can select go to section based on answer. And then from there you can pick whichever one they want. If they continue to the next section, if they go to a different section based on whatever you choose. So what I like to do is then if question 1, if they get it incorrect, I have a section titled question 1 intervention, kind of like I'm differentiating here. And then I provide feedback to them. So here's an image. I can even put videos in. I can put in text. And then I can even add the intervention with some questions to make sure that they actually understood what they did. So then that would get them back into the quiz, or it would bring them back to the intervention based on if they needed some more.
Wow.
And I can do that.
So you're saying with Google Form, we can make this a personalized experience
Correct.
for each of our
Kind of like a
students.
choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
Right?
Love it. Those
It's
are always my
amazing.
favorite.
Let's look at a different way to provide feedback for students.
So then now, as Larissa explained earlier, we want to make sure that we make this a quiz because we need to have the answer correct. So then once you click on the correct answer, you'll notice there's this add answer feedback. And the great thing about this, just like the other one, you can do feedback for incorrect answers. You can do feedback correct answers. You can also add in links or videos on the bottom. You can see that right over here. Click on the link button or the video, and that's a different way that you can provide feedback. So there's 3 different ways you can provide feedback just within this Google form, where they have to get the answer right, where they go to a different section, or they get some feedback specialized to them.
Think about how productive and confident your students will be with this type of feedback.
So if you want some more help on any of those things I just discussed, if you click on the slideshow, the Word Google folder is linked to this folder where I have that template for the differentiation one I went over.
Awesome.
I have different videos of how you can do those things. So with that being said, I think that's all we have about Google Forms
I think
for today.
so, but that gives me a lot to think about, and I bet it gives
does.
you a lot to think
So
about too.
I've been Cassidy.
I've been Larissa.
And we wanted to thank you for watching this. And once again, if you have any questions, please email us or follow us on our social media.
Yes.
And we have been Larissa and Cassidy in the Valley.
Goodbye, so soon, and isn't it a crime? We know by now that time knows how to fly.